Welcome to a quick test ride of the KTM 390 Adventure R. The brand new model, highly anticipated here in Finland as well. And globally, this is probably one of the hottest bikes out this year of 2025. And definitely I was keen on getting this on a test ride as fast as I can. Get my quick feedback from this bike. The seating position on this bike is actually fantastic. It feels really good for me personally, and I have plenty of room to move about on the seat as well, even though the passenger seat goes up a little bit on behind me, but I still have plenty of room to move about on this lower section of the seat. The engine feels like a thumper should feel, so you have some vibrations here doing 50 on your feet and a little bit on the handlebar as well, but nothing drastic at this moment. Mirrors are still very readable, huge mirrors actually. The bike is now in off-road mode and the TC is off because I don't have time to test that much, so I'm just gonna keep it off during this test ride. So let's do a bit of a gravel section here first. Fast-paced, easy gravel road. Oh, there's quite a nice amount of power after 5,000 to 6,000 RPM. I feel like the bike has a lot of pull. Oh yeah, you have to ring it up. You have to bring it to 6,000 RPM or thereabouts. 5,000 to 6,000 to get the most out of this engine. Yeah, I think 6,000 is the position where the engine actually starts pulling, starts being more aggressive. But yeah, at the top RPMs this feels nice, feels very aggressive. Yeah, it's not gonna pull your hands off, but yeah, plenty of power from this kind of engine size. I did stall this already once in an intersection, so it is easier to stall than maybe some other bikes. Yeah, it has plenty of fun power actually. Not aggressive power like an 890 or 790 of course, but yeah, it's happy. Very happy engine, I would say. Let's do a bit of a smaller gravel road here and see how it feels. Second gear. Yeah, no worries. And the rear ABS is definitely off. Let's see on the second gear here. Oh yeah. Typical KTM fashion, this feels really powerful on the top end. Much more power than I was expecting actually. This feels not a far cry from my tuned NX500. Some of that is of course due to the weight difference on those bikes, because my NX is pretty heavy compared to this one. And this, for the weight that this feels plenty powerful actually. Let's see the low end power. Let's third gear here out. Yeah, as reported online, low end grunt on this engine is definitely lacking. This is tuned for high power and the high RPMs, and some people may not like that off-roading. Oh yeah, but it does like to scream and does like to pull well on those upper RPM ranges. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised about this one. Does it deserve the KTM emblem? I think it does. And I feel like the bike suits me pretty well. The position on the bike is really good. I really like this kind of rider triangle on this bike, and it doesn't feel too small. It feels pretty nice. Oh yeah, it does have power. Yeah, I don't think if you're not expecting something insane, you're gonna be plenty happy with this engine. Let's see the standing position once more. Oh yeah, I do like this. It's been raining all night, so everything is pretty wet and slippery, but oh yeah. Oh, it's a fun bike, that's for sure. And the suspension here on this kind of potholy gravelly road feels really competent actually. Of course, this is not the ultimate test of a suspension, but it's comfortable enough in my opinion for this kind of riding. And the bike feels light. It feels more like my CRF 300 than my NX 500. Even the way the suspension reacts to those potholes and this road. So, oh, it's pretty easy to drift once you learn the RPM range that it needs to live in. Really cool engine actually. It's easy to stall. You have to give it some beans when you get going from a standstill. It's that's something you have to get used to with this bike. Let's see a quick highway test. How are the vibrations controlled doing 100 or 60 miles an hour? Oh yeah, nice power on this engine. And actually the vibrations are really well controlled on this bike. Here doing 80, I feel a little bit vibrations on my these handlebars here, but nothing drastic. And here doing 100, about 60 miles an hour, you can feel a little bit of vibration in the foot pegs, but very minor. I wouldn't say, I would never complain about that. And the handlebar is much smoother than, let's say, a 690, even the newest 690. There's barely any vibration on this handlebar here. There is vibration, but it's very minimal. Really smooth engine, I would say. I would happily sit here all day on highway speeds, no worries. And wind protection is actually extremely good. It's a really windy day, and I'm not getting buffeting in my helmet at all, so the wind protection, this hole here probably smooths the air out on my helmet, and the wind protection is one of the best in this category, or even in the mid-size category. This is better than my NX 500, this is better than the Tenere 700, Touareg 660, 790, 890. This is the best out of those all of those bikes that I have ridden. France Alp 750 might be close, but I would say this might be even better than that for my height of 175 centimeters. So really good points on the wind protection. And it's pretty wide, the bearing here, so it pulls air away from my body as well. I don't feel any uncomfortable air anywhere on my helmet or my body or anywhere. So really nice on the wind protection for highway cruising. The engine RPMs are at 6,000, a little bit more than 6,000 at 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. But it doesn't sound like it's stressed. Like the MT450 punchy moto, it feels like it's really stressed at this speed with the stock gearing, but this doesn't feel that way at all. My seat is not vibrating like too much at all, and I don't hear the engine groaning all the time, so it feels really comfortable doing that speed. And I would assume that it's gonna be that 120, something like that, felt pretty good as well. I don't feel any vibration increase from the speed, which is a nice thing, nice thing. Sometimes when you feel vibration doing 50 and when you do 100, it's gonna be exponentially bigger. But with this bike, you don't really feel that it increases over the speed. So it stays pretty much the same. Really good to notice that. And I already forgot that this bike actually has the Quickshifter as well. So I'm gonna test that doing the next acceleration here. I hope that the BMW rider is gonna find the gas and not stay wallowing about. Come on. Yeah. Now let's test the Quickshifter. Oh yeah. Really nice smooth changes. No jerkiness, no twitchy nature on this gearbox with the Quickshifter. Really good, really good. Let's see how it's down. Oh, really smooth. Oh yes, really good. Even changing at 6,000 RPM, it feels smooth, it feels confident, really good. Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised because I was expecting something similar of a 690 engine. What comes to vibrations and comfort on road, but I would say this is more comfortable on road than the 690. And it has plenty of power for overtaking at 6th gear. I don't see... Yeah, it's not fast, but it's good enough in my opinion. Really comfortable. I was expecting, let's say from numbers 0 to 10, I was expecting this to be somewhere like 3 to 4 on the highway cruising. But this is actually really good, like 7 or 8. If 10 is a big GS, like that one. I am really surprised that this is as good as it is. 6th gear from 80 kilometers an hour. Yeah, it doesn't really want to move, but when it reaches 6,000 RPM, that's when it's pulling much better. Yeah, I feel like I have to switch to 5th gear when I'm doing 80 to keep the engine in a happy place, because at 4,000 RPM you kind of start to feel a little bit of a stutter from the engine. Let's see it again. 6th gear, 4,500. Yeah, the engine starts to feel a bit like it's stuttering, even at this RPM. Let's go even lower. 4,000. Yeah, right now I feel like the engine is not happy. It's not happy at this RPM. Let's go to 5th. Oh yeah, now it's smoothens out. So it's not necessarily a good idea to gear this bike up, because you kind of want this engine to be above 5,000 RPM when you ride. And if you gear it up, it's gonna require you to gear down all the time doing this kind of transit road. So I think the gearing is pretty spot on for this engine character that this KTM has. So I do like that. The bike feels really nimble even doing 80. Usually bikes at this speed start to feel a little bit heavy and cumbersome to turn, but this still feels really nimble doing 80, 90 kilometers an hour. And I even love the fact that KTM now indicates what side of indicator you are on, because some of the earlier models have only one indicator LED. So that's a nice upgrade. I have one test that I would like to do with this bike. Even though I am running out of time on this test ride. I have 20 minutes, but I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky and a little bit late and do one more test with this. A really gnarly uphill, which is probably even gnarlier now because it's been raining all night. So it's gonna be really slippery, but let's see if we can ride that uphill with this bike. It is quite steep and quite rocky, and the traction is really limited on that uphill. I'm not sure what gear I should be using with this bike, because it requires so many RPMs to actually pull. All right, here's the uphill. Oh, the brakes are really good. Oh, yes. No complaints about those brakes. Work really well. Let's do this with the 2nd gear. Oh yeah, this is steep. Okay, let's see. Can we make it up? It's a lot harder actually to keep traction, because you have to live in those upper RPM ranges. It is not as easy as some of those bigger bikes with lugging engines. Almost dropped it there already. This is not gonna come up in the video how steep this is, but this is really steep. This is a ski hill, and those are ski lifts, and we're gonna climb all the way up. Oh, this is super steep, but yeah, it could make it. And how light this bike is, that definitely helps. But that was sketchy. And constantly spinning the back wheel. I know the traction control in this bike is gonna help on those situations if you keep it in the off-road lowest setting, but I'm not gonna do that again because I'm already over time on this ride. All right, so what do I think about this KTM after this quick introduction? I love it, actually. This is a really good bike and really good addition to this category of below 200 kilo adventure bikes. Really excellent comfort on highway, which is kind of the Achilles heel of lighter adventure bikes usually. But this bike is definitely comfortable. This bike is definitely powerful. I would say the biggest power issue with this bike is the low end torque. There's not really anything below 4,000, not much before 5,000, and everything is above 6,000. But once you learn to live with that, you can definitely enjoy and have a lot of fun with this engine. Just trying to collect my thoughts, because it's sometimes difficult when you just riff these test rides and try to ramble something. I would definitely see myself even buying this bike at some point. If there's not any huge reliability issues that come forward over the next year or two, I could easily see myself riding one of these. And I do hope the return of KTM is gonna be glorious with this bike and all the other bikes that they come up with. I think the biking world really needs KTM to push the other brands to create fun bikes and not just some commuter bikes. KTM is always the one pushing for power, pushing for performance, and I can definitely see it in this bike. Like, it's crazy how good of a suspension feel this gives at this price point. I don't think there's anything else on the market today that gives this competent package right out of the box. This is one of the unicorns of this market segment for sure. Yeah, I kind of don't have much to complain about this machine. I think it's fantastic for what it is. Some people have been complaining that the kickstand, you kind of put your foot on it by accident and kill the bike, but I didn't do that even on the uphill section, so I didn't notice that issue. But once I do a longer day with this bike, that's probably when it is noticeable. But some people have been saying that it's easy to stall this engine by touching that quick stand with your heel by accident. But for me, I had no issues on this quick ride. Yeah, what else? What did I forget to mention? I don't think there's anything. I think this bike definitely, it earns your money. I think it deserves the price tag that they're trying to ask for it, definitely. And I think they could ask a lot more than that and still sell a lot of these. This is really fun bike. See you on the next episodes. Bye.